Hey everyone, I did not intend on making another video. I've been live like all day long today hanging out with you guys. So my intention is to keep this one quick, short. Hello, if you are new and you never hopped on one of my lives before and you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Shakti. I'm an online health and fitness coach, and I'm also very metaphysical, and I talk a lot about the intersection of the metaphysical and the physical. I talk a lot about that because they are not exclusive and they are not separate. Our metaphysical experience impacts and affects our physical experience. I believe this too with my work with fitness and nutrition. The reason I think it's so important is because when your physical body is operating at an optimal level, you are a different person. Your brain chemistry is different. Your ability to connect is different. You think more clearly. Everything is different. The physical body is a very important component of a spiritual body and taking care of your spiritual experience, okay? So I believe in all those things working together, and that's like cornerstone of my work and my brand is that. If you haven't followed me recently, I've been starting these fireside chats and I'm talking a lot about what's happening globally, what's happening politically, what the freak is going on, because it seems like it doesn't make any sense. If we're following the mainstream narrative, they're talking to you about this virus, and none of the measures we've taken to meet the virus make any sense, really, considering that although it's contagious, it's not fatal. And so the mainstream narrative doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a lot of things that are happening in the background, executive orders that are being passed, people that are being moved around, busts that are happening that are not having anything to do with this pandemic, and yet they're all happening at the same time as the pandemic, and that's not coincidental. A lot of you guys have probably heard me talk once or twice about this alternate theory that what's actually going down is a whole lot of open sealed indictments, arrests, the cleaning out of a dark cabal that has frankly run the world for a very, very long period of time, and they've gotten away with it. And that is a theory that I stand behind. I do believe that is actually happening, and if you don't believe that's happening, this might not be the live video for you. And then what I'm going to say next is not going to make any sense to you. But if you're willing to hear me out, then hear me out for a second, okay? Lately, I've been having awful, horrific nightmares every single night that I go to sleep. And I've been pummeled with messages from you guys telling me that you're having the exact same experience. And not only is it nightmares, it's waking daytime anxiety panic attacks that are flooring people to the point of like hyperventilating. It is night terrors. It is having grotesque, horrific visions in your mind of death, of people being hurt, of bad things happening, I'm talking about full on psychic warfare at a level that you've probably never experienced before. So if this is your first time experiencing this, I'm so sorry that it's happening to you. Hopefully what I'm about to say is going to make sense and you will have some clarity. A lot of you guys are hopping on and I haven't kept up with all the names, but hi, it's so nice to see all of you guys. Nick, Ricky, Madi, Deb, Tanya, Marie, Hannah, Adriana. Hi guys. Leanne. Hi. So this is the first time this happened was during, hey Sandra, the global meditation we did on 4/4, okay? So 4/4/2020 is a 4/4/4 Stargate meditation where I opened this event up and I had everybody come in and pick a meditation and do it. And it was that night when I really first felt the effects of this, which was I did a very, very deep meditation and I was in this really amazing positive space of holding light over the earth and feeling like very protective of our planet and very much like wanting to just embrace it and surround it in light. And then I went to sleep, and that night as I laid down, the horrific images began. And you're very familiar with this if you've ever had anxiety. It's a lot like what anxious visions look like. I remember when I first had my son and I would go to sleep at night, I would have all these visions of terrible things happening to my kid. You can probably relate to this if you've had postpartum anxiety or any kind of anxiety, like someone taking your kid or your kid just dying or something like that. Like, those are all the images that would flash through my mind. And it was very hard for me to sleep when I was a new mom because I was having that constantly. This felt a lot like that, where suddenly it felt like my brain was taken over by this negative energy and all I could see was bad things. And my heart started racing and I started having a visceral panic sensation, and it's been happening every single night where I literally have to like hold on to my bed and like breathe, like activate every breathing technique I know and start gratitude, 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 like just thinking of all the good things in my life and just going to town on good things, okay? A lot of you guys are resonating with this. Let me explain why this is happening to you, and it's happening a lot. This is proof. This is undeniable proof that you are connected to everything around you, and it has nothing to do with your physical fucking body. So if you still think that the way that we are connected is through tangible physical things, you are wrong. We are connected through the psyche. We are connected through an energy field, a field of intelligence that we all have access to. I like to describe it like Professor X and Cerebro, okay? When he puts on, I have nonstop headaches too, Adriana, that's part of this. When he puts on Cerebro, Professor X and X-Men, if you're not a nerd, you don't know what I'm talking about. He puts on this helmet and it connects him to all the other mutants in the entire world. And he can see where they are and he like can feel them and he can experience them to access them. That is what we are actually like. Cerebro is not made up. That's literally how it works. This is where psychic ability comes from. This is where ESPN comes from. This is why people can do remote viewing, because we all are connected. We're plugged into the collective. We have access to everything and everyone. Most of us, though, have never practiced this skill. Most of us have never had someone tell us that we have that ability, so we've never even tried. Okay? Psychic ability is not specific to some people. Some people just don't have it and other people don't. No. Some of us have cultivated it and some people have not. And that is a distinct difference. Okay? So we are under a collective psychic attack right now, and it is very obvious to me. Like, the energies that are dark, that have controlled the underpinnings of this society and global society forever, are flat out desperately clinging for life right now. Okay? They are clinging for life right now because they are being taken out and they are freaking out. The energy is freaking out and it's lashing out. We are experiencing the back end of energy lashing out, of pain, of suffering, of horrible things that have happened on our planet that we have been blind to. Most of us don't even know, you don't even know what's about to get released. Like, when most of you find out what's been happening behind the scenes, your souls are going to be fucking crushed. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that that's about to happen. It's really intense. But we are experiencing the release of all of that pain and suffering collectively right now, and it is tragic. It is absolutely tragic. And on top of that, we're experiencing the backlash of these dark forces that be trying to regain control of humanity. And how are they going to do that? They're going to terrorize you. It's a literal terrorist attack on your psyche to keep you stuck and fearful and panicked and in a frequency of absolute terror. That's a technique. It is psychological warfare. It is spiritual warfare. Okay? This is not a joke. This is not crazy. This is what's actually happening. The constant headaches. Okay? Up here, your third eye, your pineal gland right now is working at a level you can't even comprehend. In the middle of what is happening right now, ascension is happening. So in the middle of being in this takeover, this energetic takeover of power, putting this cycle of darkness to sleep and going into the new golden age, we are in the middle of a 5D ascension. So your pineal gland, your upper chakras are working, integrating, processing at a level that's hard for any human to understand. So you are physiologically you're changing, energetically you're changing, and then on top of that, all of this is happening. Okay, this is a lot. This is a lot to be happening at the same time. So if you're having the constant headaches, don't freak out. Make sure you're really hydrated. Make sure that you have whatever herbs or tinctures you take to help you with pains like that. But don't panic, because I firmly believe that's part of what's the change. Make sure you're getting sleep too, though. Please make sure you're sleeping. Rest right now is so important. And here are some tools you can use to help you rest. Obviously, CBD oil is a thing. You can get that. It helps a ton. Plants, adaptogen plants. Oh my God. Yes, I have a product that I use and I sell that has adaptogen plants, that it's the bomb. If you don't want to try what I have, you want to try something else, that's fine. Adaptogen plants. I cannot scream that enough. If you want to try the best of the best, I got you. but you need to be using them because adaptogen plants make a big difference when it comes to handling mood, handling stress, handling anxiety. Those plants make a difference. They change your brain, okay? Meditation, you guys. Meditation. I can't, we need you. We need you to not be under this constant attack. For those of you that are woke and that are trying to do your part in this business, you need to close your eyes and meditate for at least 5 minutes a day. At least. And picture, the only thing you need to picture is light around the earth. Light around the earth. Light around the earth. Constantly seeing the earth surrounded by light. And I'm getting chills as I'm saying this, and I can feel my guides downloading now the next few things that are going to come out of my mouth. Light. Protect your planet. Protect your planet. Your planet needs you for protection right now. It is no longer about letting the people on this planet who are in positions of power govern the direction of this world. That's not how that works anymore. It is now up to every single one of you to become that spiritual soldier, that spiritual warrior that you came onto this planet incarnated to be, to take your place and to do your work. And to understand that now that we are all physically separated, they want you to understand that your life was never physical to begin with, but you bought into that story because of the map, because of the matrix that was made for you. They convinced you that you were physical and only physical. They convinced you that the only way you had power or control was through moving physical things, and that's not true. And they really want you to hear this. They want you to understand that now is your time to prove to yourself how non-physical you actually are. And doing that by grounding your energy at least 5 minutes a day and protecting your planet, surrounding your planet with as much love, as much gratitude, as much hope as you can possibly fill yourself up with. Hope. Hope. They keep saying, I keep hearing hope. You need to feel the hope. You need to feel the light. You need to feel compassion. You need to fill with joy. That's what moves you into the 5D. That's what we are literally giving birth to an entire new reality, and the people who are here clinging to it are not letting it go. They are not letting it go easily. They are wanting to take down the ship with them. It's not going to happen. They can't do that. But we need you, okay? Yes, the light will help with the nightmares, the headaches, and all the issues. The visualizing of the light. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. Yes. Please, that's a simple exercise. Anybody can do this, whether you meditate or not, is just see the globe in the darkness of space and see light, this beautiful golden white light around it, and just feel love as you see that in your mind's eye. Play some nice shamanic music in the background. 5 minutes, you guys. That's all it takes. That's all I'm personally asking you to do is 5 minutes. But I am begging you at this point to take up your position, to take up your spiritual position in this situation and help us, help everyone, help this earth go where it needs to go because we need it. And I promise you the nightmares will stop. I promise you that all of the terrorizing that's happening will stop, but you need to take an active role in stopping it because that's what's happening. That's the truth of what's happening. And I know that's hard to hear, and some of you are going to hear this and be like, what is she even saying right now? But it's not. I'm not lying. I'm not making this up. That's what's actually happening. You are emotionally and psychically being terrorized. So hopefully this gives you perspective for why that's happening and you begin to understand what the background to what's going on right now. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer them. I'm going to go back right now. I've been doing many times is imagining light emerging out of myself and covering the planet. Yep, that's what my non-earth guides, I'm going to call them that, they're just feeding me this exercise of covering the globe in light. And by the way, they want you to know, I also want you to know that there is a galactic federation that is in charge and overseeing this positive movement of our planet, but they can't interfere with us, right? Like the whole prime directive thing. They can't interfere with our work, our consciousness. They can only use people like myself who listen to them and have this relationship to come here and tell you guys, hey guys, this, right? That's all they can really do is guide that way, indirectly. So they're showing me this exercise and they're saying it's that simple. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. You don't have to know how to meditate or be a master meditator. Simply by seeing the light and surrounding the earth with the light, that is sufficient to help ground the energy on the planet and help the planet go where it needs to go and help all of us clear our psychic grid so we're not being pummeled by stuff. Yes, okay, I'm going back through comments, make sure I didn't miss any important questions. Hey everyone, hi Holly Beth, hi Jillian, hi Margaret, hi Melissa, hey Jess. Sorry I didn't say hi earlier. I didn't see all these names popping on here. Hey Rachel. Hey Ashley, hi Amy. All right, any questions, my friends? Anything else that you want me to address or that's happening for you right now that would be helpful for me to clear up before I hop off? Oh, I probably should say this. So tomorrow, there's the full moon is here. The full moon was active on the 7th, and I have not been able to go live and talk about the full moon, but I will. My intention is to do a live video for the full moon tomorrow, and it will be on YouTube. So I'm going to be streaming it live from my YouTube. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be notified if you subscribe and click the bell. It'll notify you when I go live, but it's going to be a video on the full moon, and so it's going to be about 15 minutes of public access, and then the next 15 minutes will be Patreon access. So all of my patrons will get individual card pulls for them. So if you want to figure out how to become a patron, you just go to patreon.com/Shakti TV. That's my handle, and you can figure out how to do that there, and then you will have access to that live stream. I love you too, and I miss you so much. I miss you so much, Jen. I miss your energy so much. Hey, Kelsey. Hey, thank you for welcoming Kendall. All right. Yes, I do, Melissa. I do believe that the cabal is systematically being taken out. They've run their course. That's what I think it's the most important thing that you guys understand. It's not a single person taking out the cabal. It's not that the people on this planet are doing that work. It's that their cycle of power has actually run out. And so they were going to be taken out one way or another. It was just time for that. But it just so happens that there is an organization of people that are very vested in them being taken out. And so it's happening. But that cycle of darkness, there's a girl I follow on YouTube, her name is Gigi Young. She talked about the Kali Yuga cycle. It's coming to a close. That's it. There's no more of that. We're in a different vibration, different frequency. And for those of us who have been in this world, we've been hearing about the transition for a long time. We've been hearing about the ascension process. We've been dealing with ascension symptoms. I mean, y'all know, we've been doing this and we've been feeling it and we're like, oh my God, when is it going to happen, right? But what we did not expect was that it was going to become such a global phenomenon that we would on physical earth see the level of change that we've seen. That's what's shaken everyone to their core, is we didn't expect to see the ascension process grab hold of the 3D reality and literally rip it apart the way that we're seeing it happen right now. So that's why most of us light workers are scrambling right now to be like, what the fuck is going on? Was this part of the plan? Because of course you don't get the whole plan. That's not how that works. Right? You get pieces of it and you get sort of some things, but this is huge. This is so much bigger than what we could have expected, right? So, and there's so much darkness that even some of us light workers didn't even know was happening, right? So we thought we knew, and then all of a sudden the lid came off on all this stuff and we're like, oh damn, that was dark. That was a next level. Right? So that's what's happening to a lot of us too, is a lot of us were here okay, we're ready to do the work, and then it's pow, pow, and we're like, oh shit. That's what's happening right now. So it's okay if you feel completely disoriented and you have no idea what's happening. For whatever reason, my big ass mouth has decided I'm gonna be a vocal piece for this. So if you guys feel confused, I'm here to help you guys out. Diet woke. Oh God, listen. I found out so much information that made me feel diet woke. That's fucking hysterical. That's one of the funniest terms I've ever heard in my whole life. That's a new thing. That has to be coined. That's brilliant. Yeah, diet woke. It's a thing, and I'm sure many people are feeling that right now. If you don't know about my fireside chats, I have a whole YouTube thing where I talk about current events. So if you're interested in learning about current events from this kind of a lens, not from like the mainstream media says there's more deaths happening in the US, but like you actually want to know what's happening, then follow me on YouTube and subscribe, because my fireside chats are all about this shit. Like this is what I talk about. I take news articles, I take executive orders that have been signed, and I post links afterwards too, so you guys can chase your own trails and do your own research, and I just go through them and I'm like, this is why this doesn't make sense, and this is why this is freaky, and this is why, like I straight up just go through them that way. So if you're interested in learning about the news without being bored to tears, you could just go to my channel and not be bored. Just saying. It's usually under 30 minutes too, so it's like real fast. You'll just get all the highlight reel. I do them every other day. So like tomorrow or the day after, I'll be doing another one. Hey Kendall, what's up? Hey Persephone, what's up? Yeah, I'll put my YouTube link in here as well to the channel, and then you'll see the playlist. It's called Fireside Chats, March, April in brackets. And you guys, that's what that will be. The new moon and full moon readings go under the medical musings playlist, where I talk about more metaphysical stuff. Like this video is probably gonna go in there. So that kind of stuff. Any other questions or any other weird symptoms you've been having, or, you know, anything you want answered from my own understanding or connection or whatever you want to call that. Happy to help. I'll stay on, see if anybody has anything else. Actually, talking about this, my headache has gone away, which is so interesting, right? It's a lot of like when you speak the name of darkness, like it dispels the darkness, right? It was like Harry Potter. Here we go. My references, my modern day references. When you say Voldemort's name, it takes away the power, right? Everybody was so afraid of his name. That's why he had so much power. And Harry was like, WTF, like it's Voldemort, by the way. Yes. Yeah, so again, this girl that I follow on YouTube, I love her stuff. Her name is Gigi Young. She's also super metaphysical and psychic. And she talks about how we all have cycles. And if you study astrology, you know that everything is it's very cyclical. So there's the cycle in time when disorder and chaos is more prominent, where order and light is more prominent, like the golden era type of thing is more prominent, and everything just works in a cycle and nothing is stagnant. So we go through phases, just like when we grow up, we're moving through phases. And so she talked about the Kali Yuga phase, or the phase of destruction, basically, where things get torn apart and things, how does she describe it? She used such a good terminology for this. Not shredded, but like dismantled. I think that was one of the words that she used, was dismantled, where order becomes dismantled and it falls into the hands of corruption. And so there's this deep, dark corruption, which we've been in this cycle for a long time, by the way. I said this in a previous video, but this battle of like good, evil, which are relative terms, this didn't happen because this is like a devil Christ thing. Like the concept of devil and Christ is very young. And I just want everybody to understand this. A lot of the people who follow these alternate theories, also could be called conspiracy theories, are very Christian. And so in their language, they talk a lot about, you know, Christ and defeating the devil or defeating Satan. But this is like super, super old. Like the founders, in fact, I'm reading this book right here, Earth, the Alien Enterprise. It's a big ass book, but it's really important. Talks about the Earth agenda, how we were created and why, and that we fell into a power play. This whole planet fell into a power play. And we're just literally finishing the power play. We're finishing out that cycle of the power play. And the power is now shifting. That's basically it. You know, people talked about the Anunnaki. People have talked about the reptilians, which reptilians and Anunnaki can be interchangeable. So those beings that came and took over and governed our planet and set up a certain order to our planet are where the Cabal take their leadership from. That's where they learn from. That's where they were told, if you do this, you'll get this. That's where they got that instruction from. You ready for bed?
Yeah, I'm gonna kiss you.
All right. Good night, my love.
Good night, my mom.
My tiny.
Dame Padre, del
Hijo, del Espíritu Santo.
Amén.
Amén. Bien hecho. Good night, bebé.
Es nuestro
Dile con papá.
Padre nuestro.
El Padre Nuestro. Dile a tu papá que te haga el Padre Nuestro.
Abuelo. Ay, mi abuelo.
This one's so cute. All right. Vamos mañana. Real life, guys. I'm a mom. Feeling the feeling's so important. Yes. I am remembering parts of my past life that I could never remember before, and with such clarity, conversations and all, and my dreams are directly connected to these memories, and the emotions are clearing. They have been there forever. So someone else brought up, I'm currently reading Alien World Order. Nice. Someone else brought up, I know, he's the sweetest, that there's a heavy like Saturn influence right now. This is like astrological terminology. And yeah, Saturn feels really intense. It can feel like when everybody's in their Saturn return age 26, 28-ish, when you're in that age group, you're talking about your Saturn return, it's usually a very destructive time in your life where everything that you have known up until that point sort of like freaks out and blows up, right? But it's also a time of order. So what Saturn does, the energy of Saturn, it's also an organizing energy. So it takes apart or dismantles what is that no longer serves that energetic template, and then you get new order. You get new reconstruction, right? So that's what's happening right now. That's another lens to look at this whole conversation through. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Tiffany. Hey, Sable. Hey, Kate. So many friends. I love this. This is great. Any other questions? Hopefully that answered your question, Rachel. If that wasn't deep enough, I would highly recommend reading a book like this one. This will clear that up for you. I'm about to turn 29 and definitely feel, girl, 26 to 29 was like, my whole life got flipped upside down. I feel like the Fresh Prince. Life got flipped upside down. My dreams have been constant and horrifying. Yep. Sandra, you're in good company. That's exactly what we're talking about. It's psychic attack. Everybody is under spiritual psychic attack right now for a lot of reasons. One of it is we are ending a cycle of darkness, literally, and the energies in place that have been controlling this planet from not a good place are being wiped out, and they are grappling, they are holding on to power as much as they possibly can because they don't want to lose it. And at the same time, what's surfacing is a bunch of collective suffering that hasn't been obvious up until now. And you guys don't know what I'm talking about if you don't follow these conspiracy tracks, but very, very soon there's something that's going to go public that will shock and horrify everybody pretty much. And at that point, you guys will understand what I mean by the collective suffering of that we, for many of us, have not been aware of for a while. Tapping out to get the kids down. Yes. Thanks for hopping on, sister. No, don't take them seriously. Do not become distracted by these dreams or these negative visions, okay? Please, please do not become distracted by it. Do not give them power. Do not entertain them. Do not let them live in your mind and in your heart. Do whatever you can. Blast some Abraham Hicks. Put on some good meditation. Put on a sleep hypnosis. Like, hop onto my YouTube and watch a video that makes you feel more high vibe. Or, dance. Go play with your kid. Like, stand up. Get out of bed. Stand up. Start moving your body and start breathing real deep, right? Like, anything you need to do to pattern interrupt. Do not entertain these visions and these dreams. They are there to terrorize you and keep your frequency capped at a low. And by the way, when your frequency drops like that because you're living in panic and terror, so does your immune system, which compromises you and then makes you very susceptible to catching anything, right? Let alone COVID. You could literally catch anything. So please don't entertain these things. Do not hold them in your energy field. Like, do whatever you can to transmute them. That's so important. So important. Hopefully that answered your question, Sandra, and help you feel better about what you're going through. Any other questions, my friends, before I hop off? Thank you for hanging with me on this live. This is so hard. This is all so hard. Everyone's living through such crazy shit right now, and I'm doing my very best to keep you guys informed and connected and plugged in and do my part. This is my part of my contract. This is my part of my karma to be a anchoring pillar in this planet for this time. And I'm so grateful to do that. I have zero regrets of doing that at all. So my YouTube channel is Shakti Reels, like my name, Shakti TV. So Shakti, capital T, capital V. But I'll put a link in here as well. But this is really, really intense. Yeah, so I'm hearing a lot of very vivid dreams. Yeah, they're vivid right now. So if you're having about creation and love, that's beautiful, then you're definitely on the other side of the frequency, and you are in the creation frequency, Kate. So please use that like purposefully to create that new world experience that we are all leaning for. Some of you guys will be there, will be at the creation phase where you're not in the psychic terror place and you're actually building things, and some of us are going to be still doing the warfare part on the back end. So wherever you are, it's okay. Sound frequency for healing. Yeah, so like if you go to YouTube and you type in sound frequency for love, or sound frequency for anxiety, or sound frequency for whatever, you will get a video that just has a tone, a certain frequency tone, and that tone is meant to help with whatever it says on there, okay? So it's so helpful, and sometimes I just play certain tones, like if I have worry or despair or something like that, I'll look that up on YouTube and then I'll let the tone play while I sleep at night. It's very, very helpful. There's also some sleep meditations. This guy by the name of Michael Seeley, I like him a lot. He does great sleep meditations, has a great voice. It's just like really monotone and low, and you could just sleep like a baby through it. He's great. Yeah. Solfeggio, I think it's solfeggio frequency, is that how you pronounce that? Yeah. And frequency, music, sound is powerful. I mean, it's known to have curative properties for a bunch of stuff. So use that, please. Goodness, so helpful right now. Also, Stephen Greer, he is my like favorite alien person ever. He's been studying ET UFO for a long time. He has a great CE5 meditation sequence that's really powerful as well. So I recommend looking at his CE5. It's called CE number 5 meditation. If you're into the extraterrestrial and that relationship to them and you feel comfortable with that kind of stuff, then that's going to be a great meditation for you. It's helped a lot of the people that I know. So, okay. Beautiful. 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 Thank you for building for us. Thank you. Thank you so much for doing the work and building for us. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. I'm so thankful to be doing this work. I don't think I've ever felt so much purpose in my entire life, in my business, in just like live videos. Like the amount of purpose that has come into my life as a result of this has been astronomical. So I am so deeply grateful for all of you guys and for being able to share this digital space with you and help and support. Really, that means the world to me. So stay tuned. I will be doing a full live. I know tomorrow I have a reading scheduled with the client, so if I go live for the full moon reading, it's going to be after my reading with my client. So if you want to, I'll put my YouTube channel link in here. I'm also going to put the Patreon link in here in the event that you want to become a patron and then have access to the post live streaming so you can get many readings for yourself. And so how it works is the last 2 tiers of Patreon, there's 4 different tiers, $1, $5, $10, and $25. The 10 ones get access to after new moon. Obviously, you can attend all the readings, but then you'll get one-on-one access after the new moon readings. And then if you're at the 25 and above bracket, then you get access to both new moon and full moon after party live stream. So that'll make sense when you go on my Patreon because it'll be spelled out for you. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and link that in here, link the YouTube channel, go subscribe, watch all the things, fireside chats, explain everything that I'm talking about. If you're new to this conversation and you're like, what is even happening? Start there. Okay, I love you guys so much. Have an amazing night and restful sleep.